Brightest blessings, everyone. Psychic medium Elizabeth Grove, the Paranormal Priestess. Welcome to the Paranormal Priestess YouTube channel. It's a pleasure to be here, and I really appreciate you subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. And I'm really so glad that these videos have been helping you out, have been validating things for you, have been really guiding you. And it's just to be able to read your comments has been amazing, and it's really just such a pleasure to be able to have a positive impact in some way. For those of you who are new to this channel, thank you so much for stopping by. Perhaps someone shared a video with you, or perhaps you just came across this video and your guides led you here. A lot of times that does happen, so I definitely don't question that. There are no coincidences, so I welcome you here. This is going to be a very special video that is going to be specifically for those who are on the twin flame journey, who are divine masculines or believe they are divine masculines, in which the answer to that is always going to be a yes, but this is kind of a tough journey, and I do realize that, especially when you're going through the beginnings of this, it can be kind of hard to accept that this is truth, and a lot of times you feel as though you're going crazy and you're looking for that evidence that this is real, somehow getting the confirmation for this. So I completely understand that, and I'm definitely coming from the stance of that I have been through a lot on my twin flame journey. I also have, of course, the abilities to speak to the angelics, to speak to the spirit guides, to the spirit world. And so that's just been really, really helpful in being able to learn more about this journey. And not only do I get messages regarding my own journey and the guidance with that, but I'm also able to do that for so many people around the world. So that's been an absolute blessing, and I'm very grateful for that. And speaking of grateful, this is definitely the time of year to give thanks. It's fall in the Northern Hemisphere, and so happy fall, everybody. And it's my favorite. I love it. It was a beautiful, just crisp day here in New York on Long Island, and just put me in a great mood. But it always reminds me of, what I'm thankful for, what I'm grateful for, and to be able to be of service to humanity and to be able to share my gifts, share my knowledge, share my experiences. It's fantastic. It really is. I'm very humbled by it. Really am. And for those of you who do know me, who have readings with me, you know that I'm definitely a straight shooter. I'm very direct with my readings. I'm very sincere with my readings, and I try to get as much specific information for you as possible. And to know more about my services, you can just go to theparanormalpriestess.com, and everything's there. I have my bio. You could read about my services, and if we are a vibrational match, if you'd like a reading, or if you feel like there is a clearing that is really beneficial for you, if you're having interferences with lower energies, you can check in with me and contact me in my contact page, and I'll check in with my guides. I'll see if it's guided. I'll see if it's a vibrational match, because everything goes by energetic match, everything for the highest good. And if we are, I'll let you know either way. So theparanormalpriestess.com. So guys, this one is for you, and this is a really special channeled message from Archangel Michael himself. He is one of my primary guides. I work with him all the time. For anyone who's had readings with me, he comes in pretty much all the time, and sometimes a lot more specifically for a particular person if they have a very strong connection with him. Wow, Michael has been with me ever since I was younger, and I always noticed that his presence was there. He was always watching over me while I was sleeping. I always was able to sense him. And, I've even had readers pick this up for me, that Michael was just very, very present in my life. And rightfully so. I had no idea, the work that I was going to be doing later in life, but obviously he did. And, So I am just so blessed to have him and to be able to work with him so much. And with the clearing work, I work with him side by side doing the remote extraction work. So that's incredible. And love you, Michael. He's just amazing. But Michael really wanted to give a very strong message of clarity to those who are divine masculines. So if you are a divine masculine watching this, definitely listen up. If you are a divine feminine on this video, Hopefully this is going to put you a little bit more at peace with what's been happening with your divine masculine, or perhaps if you are guided to take action, you may want to share this message with them, and that would be fantastic. That would be fantastic if you're guided to do that, and it would be helpful in your journey. So I do my monthly messages, and a lot of times it comes up that it's all typed. I get a lot of this channeled. I'm a physical channeler too, but this is going to be just basically everything that Archangel Michael articulated to me. You know, what I heard him say, I just basically took it down, and it's going to really be like an address to you guys. So I'm hoping that this will help you out, and you can always let me know if you want to leave me some comments. Definitely feel free. And I'll be interjecting on this only if I feel it's necessary. If not, I'm just going to continue on reading this message from Archangel Michael himself to those who are the masculines. So, here we are. Dearly beloved masculines, it is I, Archangel Michael, Prince of the heavenly hosts and protector of all light. I have come to you to speak regarding the massive shift of awakening in which you are all currently experiencing. All divine masculines have now received union codes and frequencies and may or may not have opened up to them fully as of yet. But I assure you these frequencies have come readily available at this time. Now, this is very true. As a twin, I received my own set of numbers, and people ask, you know, are these the numbers that I normally see on license plates and on clocks, etc., etc. I haven't received them that way. It's just it's a series of particular numbers in which will open up higher energies within the heart space, and this will bring forth a unity consciousness. And so that unity will, of course, include the unity with your beloved, that connection there. But it also will be union with your own higher self. It also will be union with all other twin flames. It will be union consciousness in general. So yes, they are readily available, and I have been channeling some of these for those who I'm guided to channel them for. I've been giving those out to clients. You are sensing more than you have ever allowed yourself to, nor many times had the capability to, since the ego has been your domain. You have allowed your own survival instincts to be at the forefront of all your decision making on earth, and have left your intuition and all your heart-centered capabilities out of reach. Beloveds, it is now time to allow the heart to be at the forefront of all your decision making. And although this has not been your comfort zone, this heart-centered living will bring to you in which you truly desire, not what the little ego mind has thought it desired. The current frequencies are high level, and this is to assist with union in all its aspects. Union with self, union with the divine, union with your divine counterparts, in which you have been experiencing for some time now. This is true for many. I have stepped forward to assure you that your strength comes now from within your heart. It is the truth in your heart which brings you to ultimate victory, and to ignore this truth will only cause further pain and suffering. The messages have been clarified, and the signs and synchronicities have been well placed, so that even the smallest majority of you who wish that this would not be present or denied its existence, you can no longer hide from the grand light of Source and all the truth that you are. I am assisting all divine masculines and have been working closely with all divine feminine who have requested my assistance to further help the divine masculine honor their light and the truth within their hearts. I have assisted in this recognition, and I have protected on all levels when asked. To recognize the light in oneself is to know Mother and Father God, and is to know the completion in which you came from, which also includes your divine feminine counterpart. This is the truth for the twin flames who have awakened on the planet at this time. It is for the purpose of bringing this truth to those who are current asleep, as you say, or are not conscious of the truth. You are all truth tellers and truth showers, and it is the main purpose of the awakening to the beloved. So many people, I just want to interject here, are wondering, will this actually go into the physical? And although there is a very small portion of those who did not choose the physicality of this, and I believe that those know who they are, but for the rest, this is meant to go into the physical. This is meant at this time. This is what this is about. It's to bring this to the actual physical planet to make a difference for humanity. So yes, the final stage of this is physicality. And so I'm hoping that if people are coming across information that's saying that this is not meant to come into the physical, all of that, and it's very much a question in your mind. I'm hoping that that's going to put that rumor to rest, because it's really very important. And if you are awakened to this, you've chosen to bring this forth into the physical realm. Divine masculines, listen to your inner voice and know that the voices of your higher self, the divine source, as well as your beloved, that these are the voices of truth, truthful connections that have long been forgotten. It has been true that the masculines on earth have been lost within the ego's voice, and this voice had only seemed to control and condemn for many, many years. So this is talking about the male throughout history. This has surfaced as war, prejudice, hypocrisy, and many other power struggles of controlling behavior. The divine masculine has only focused on their own definition of what man on earth is to be. So this is the conditioned masculine. They have been forced to shut down their feminine sides, for this would be a sign of weakness and shame to many cultures around the world. To show depth of emotion, to let the tears come, to not achieve a certain amount of status, has been the expectations of the masculine for far too long. The definition of the male is now being redefined, so that balance and truth can change the physical reality. The strength of the heart is the greatest strength of all, and this shall be the male going forward. When there is so much out of balance, a chaotic energy prevails, and this is what history has seen throughout the ages. And so now is the time for balance. Balance with your own feminine side that has been punished and seemingly revoked, and it is now being reinstated. The balance of this will also draw your feminine polarity within the physical, a physical form that will hold your opposite polarity and shall be your completion. Do not forget that this completion includes the trinity. For your merging with Source is the answer above all. This merging brings all. This brings all desires of abundance. This will never leave you wanting more. You will never hunger, you will never thirst. You shall be fed infinitely. Behold, your truth has now risen inside. With each and every wave of light, you are washed clean, and a new truth, the ultimate truth, becomes more apparent. It is now time to honor this truth before you and to become it. By becoming it, you are now to change your lives and alter it in the greatest of ways. For there is no going back to what was small, divine masculines. There is no wanting to satisfy on lower levels within your lower chakras only. Love has won, and you feel this inside very strongly. You now can see and feel the ways in which you wish for life to expand. There is a vast sea of opportunity for all divine twin flames to become the heart-centered, strong, determined, yet compassionate man who leads with the heart and not with the ego mind. There have been many distortions with beauty, sex, and what it means to hold power. Many have sought to be with the opposite sex with the notion that satisfaction can be achieved from the lower chakras and that there can be a distinctive separation between sex and the emotional connection. This is a 3D belief system of the past. This will leave the masculine an empty vessel, wanting more, and never touching the sacred grail of Magdalene. Divine masculines, it is time to find your sacred chalice and to become one with your feminine counterpart, to find the satisfaction that you seek. Love making will be a blissful experience which brings you into the third Christ energy, which will fill you on all levels and leave you invigorated and healed. This merging is the greatest power the earth will ever know. It will transmute far and wide, and this will never again be viewed as an act of only the lower chakras, but will be viewed with the orgasmic lovemaking, will be experienced as the orgasmic lovemaking of the heart and higher. It will cause waves of ecstasy that could never be experienced without source energy. For all lovemaking is of source, with the accompaniment of source. The greatest of ecstasy is source energy, and this is what the divine masculines are now awakened to learn and experience. So there's a massive shift going on here in terms of many things, masculines. So sex, as you guys have experienced it or have thought about it, many things are changing with that. And, coming across your divine feminine, whether it's in her spiritual form, whether it's in her physical form, if you're coming across your divine feminine, you're awakening to the higher frequencies. You're understanding that the true orgasmic love, the true ecstasy, is that merging with your other. It's merging with source, with God, goddess, the universe, whatever you feel comfortable with calling it. And this is truly what satisfies and heals on every level. It's a healer. This is sacred sex or cosmic sex. And beauty itself, beauty, and just to interject with that, that's changing for the masculines too. So there's been many masculines out there who maybe have been just really being in their ego in terms of the superficial beauty and how that's presented, how society has presented that's the type of woman that you should want. That's the type of woman that is kind of like, to be able to conquer that type of woman, or to be able to be that's the type of woman that's conditioned. That's the definition of that type that you would normally want to go for, but it's for superficial reasons, I'm trying to say. So that's changing, because with the higher energies, with the ego no longer being front and center, beauty takes on so much more than just the outside superficial made up perfect makeup, pictures being completely altered and put on Instagram in a very provocative way, and that's society's way of saying this is what men should want. This is the epitome of what beauty and sexy should be. And what's happening now is that the men who were only attracted to women for the superficial reasons, it's no longer satisfying within. It's falling absolutely short. And that's truly the man that's going through a spiritual transformation and understanding the true definitions of beauty and sex and the experience of that, and really understanding that beauty is so much more, and sex is so much more than so many of the conditions that 3D Earth has put out there. So lots are changing for the masculines, and they know it. I'm sure you're watching this video. This might be you, this might have been you, and you're understanding now that this is just not what you want anymore. It's what you thought you want, and maybe it's what your friends, your bros, thought, like, here, this is what you should want, and you're realizing now that it just doesn't work, and you've tried it over and over and over again, because it's been a pattern, and it's just not working for you anymore. It's because you are different, and you're a lot higher than you used to be. Your energy is different, your vibration is different. And so you're understanding that that's just not enough. It's not enough anymore, and it's not what you want anymore. So you're not crazy in feeling these things and feeling these changes, and really gravitating towards the higher love, the higher meanings, the deeper connection. From higher self-connection with your feminine to the physicality of this connection, you will understand the true meaning of marriage with all its intended purposes. For many of the masculines, they have viewed marriage in a very distorted way, as to having their power revoked and to be left without ongoing satisfaction. This 3D belief system is now being eradicated and replaced by a true marriage of the masculine and feminine with the Christ energy. So when I do a lot of the channelings, and yes, I do a lot for the divine feminine. The divine masculines are starting to step forward now, but primarily still I get a lot of divine feminine. And a lot of the fears that come up with the divine masculine do have to do with being fearful of commitment, fearful of marriage, and how that somehow will take their power away, or somehow, they've learned from their parents that, maybe they come from a divorced family, or they come from a parent who somehow abandoned them. That comes up very often too. So that abandonment is one of those things that you want to be able to release that and heal that, and where forgiveness can be used, that's going to really, really help things. So marriage has definitely been distorted, and some men just have that view of, well, I'm not getting married, because if I get married, A, B, C, and D is going to happen, and I don't want that, and I want to be free, and someone's going to take my freedom, and someone's going to control me, and someone's going to tell me what to do, or if I have someone in my life and I trust them, then they're just going to get up and leave, and then what will I do? And we have a lot of those fears coming up for you guys, masculine. And not to say that it can't come up for the feminine, but I do tend to get this a lot for the masculines. And so this distorted view that the male has had with marriage, this is being replaced to understand what marriage really means. That it's way beyond, the piece of paper and having, the chicken and the salmon and the filet mignon with the DJ and all the marriage and all this thing, and then we get into into the saddle, and it becomes the same rigmarole, and then marriage gets stale, and then you're trying to force it to work, and lo and behold, you're just dissatisfied, and you're left bored or left empty, or you're two ships sailing in the night without really connecting anymore. And that is so much of the old 3D relationship. And that's because there is not a merging of the hearts. There's not a merging of the energy centers, merging of the soul that's happening. There isn't truly God, source, goddess, being brought into that marriage. It's basically, the 3D relationship was based on personalities. Compatibility in that way, with personalities getting along. And it's not enough, because it's only of the mind. But we're talking about true marriage, sacred marriage, that is of the hearts, of the souls, of the energies, and it's bringing in that divine third energy. And with that, it never grows stale, and it does not follow any of the rules of the old paradigm, the old 3D paradigm relationship. And so it can't be compared to what has not panned out with your parents or what has fallen through with other relationships that you've had. Because as twin flames, we are here to change the templates. We are here to re-template, to bring a higher love, a higher way. We're here to bring that divine companionship. And with that, you are never left with feeling like you're dissatisfied or feeling as though things are dying. Will you always require, choosing the love and working on your partnership? Of course. But with a connection like a twin flame connection, it is that divine love that has that strength and that power. It's infinite. It's forever. You were born together. You are each other. So it's very different, and it's really going to bring forth a new way for this planet, in which the planet really could use. All who have been awakened shall become the trinity upon the earthly plane. And that's the really important part to understand, the trinity on earth, in the physical. This is the coming again of Christ. This is the way, and this is the new earth. It is the echo of the heavens and the universe. It is the cosmic love, the anima and the animus, the infinity of love, the infinity symbol. Divine masculines, look to your heart and do not allow your mind to steer you away from what you are feeling within. Trust it, divine masculines. What you are feeling, what you are drawn to, what's pulsating in here, what you're being pulled to. Don't be afraid of where that's going to take you. Although it's not what you've ever experienced before, and for many of you, it's not your comfort zone. For many of you, you have always been used to maybe controlling every aspect in your life, wanting to fix everything, always having a logical explanation for every single thing, analyzing each and every aspect. For this, it is going to take you into a completely different type of experience because it's based on the heart. So it's about trusting your heart, trusting what you are receiving and not questioning it. The signs and symbols for many of you, if not all, they're coming to you. You're noticing them. It's affecting you. You're having the telepathy happening. You're hearing her inside of your mind. You're feeling her caresses at night when there's no one physically there. You are feeling, well, life is just not working the way I've always had it work. And you're feeling that you just are drawn to making different choices now, and that you can't go back to the old ways of doing things. So rather than fighting with that, rather than struggling with that, to seek to control it, I invite you guys to trust this, and the divine really encourages you to trust this, because it's only going to lead to the best things in your life. The best things in your life. What you've always desired, but perhaps you just felt like you weren't meant to have, or maybe you just somehow didn't deserve it, or somehow true love was just bullshit and didn't exist. Maybe your parents have really put that out there, that just marriage is just something that is something bad, and that's not what I want. Or perhaps, you've had a relationship where you thought, well, this is the one. This is the one. And it turned out, as destiny would have it, that they weren't the one. But everyone that comes into our life, everyone, there's a valuable lesson to be learned. There's growth there. And so each and every person that we connect with, there's a gift there. There's a mirror there. We've attracted them. And we're all helping each other to grow and to go higher. So there's no mistakes, there's only learning lessons there. But everyone that you've met throughout your lifetime, in a personal way, personal relationships, it's all been in preparation for your twin, by the way. Each and every single one. So divine masculines, your divine feminine, whether it's in a male body or female body, by the way, switch them accordingly. Every single divine feminine that you have you've come across within your lifetime, you were really looking for the one, your divine feminine. And you were being grown through all of these different experiences to better prepare you for reuniting with your true counterpart. So divine masculines, do not allow your mind to steer you away from what you're feeling. These feelings are what was awakened by divine design. Okay, so please remember that the divine has awakened these twin flames, has awakened you, and it's for a very specific reason. It's not to only cause pain and suffering and longing and not having a way to fill that. It's truly about the fact that when you're awakened, you are immediately on a healing journey, and you're healing yourself. Your beloved is assisting you with the healing, your divine feminine, but you are stepping into a higher vibration. You're healing wounds from the past. You are stepping into your empowerment. And all of this is really about, like you said, bringing the love. And so the orchestration is perfect. Your heart has now been activated, and thus your current lives are now ending. For many, very abruptly, yes. So masculines, I know through channeling that I'm getting very harsh, and for many of you, harsh and abrupt transformations. And it's very accelerated as for life changing very, very quickly. Marriages are ending, partnerships are ending, the karmic partnerships, the karmic marriages. And for some of you may have even been married to your soulmates, happily married, and you're awakened now to the twin flame connection and going, wow, where did this come from? I don't want it. I was happy, and now my life is in this chaotic tailspin. But see, everything is by divine design, as Michael had said. So now is the time that you're being called into action. So for many, your divine feminines have been awakened first. For most, the divine feminines are awakened first, and there's very good reason to that, is that the divine feminines are really there because this is really a heart movement. It is a goddess movement. So the heart energy, the feminine energy, is coming into balance with the masculine energy on earth because it's been very imbalanced for so long. And so the divine feminine, her heart, her love, her nurturing, she has that ability to heal you. And she has been. She's been healing you, whether or not you've been physically together, if you've been in separation, she has been healing you with her love, with her prayers, with everything that she's been doing for herself to finally find herself worthy and stepping into her own empowerment. Everything that she's doing, she is translating that to you, and she's also sending that healing energy consciously your way to help heal you, help you to do the same. And many of the divine feminine are also trying their best not to overly focus on you guys, because that's what's going to help you guys also. So while she is focusing on herself and her life, and she's doing that in just a beautiful, beautiful way, that's giving the signal to you guys to make those changes. that you're not being pushed, you're not being forced, you're not being cornered. She's not expecting anything of you. Only she's just loving you and allowing. And it's now time for you guys to really not think what you want, but feel what it is that you really want. Not what you wanted, you thought you wanted then. Okay, and for them, this could be like last month because the changes have been huge. But what are you feeling now? And those are where the answers lie. And as she's surrendering and she's trusting and she's taking her life forward, her journey forward, while still holding the space for you, not giving up on you, holding the space and allowing you, that's giving you the perfect opportunity to listen to what's going on in your heart, listen to it, embrace the signs, the synchronicities, what the divine is actually bringing out, and to go with that, because those are the keys right there to finding what you've always desired. Those are the keys. This is necessary, these changes, due to the timing of the unions that are set to assist Earth as planned. As we've talked about, Michael says many karmic partnerships have served their intended purposes, and with the karma being paid and lessons of growth being learned, you are now guided to move forward and to step into higher partnership of the Trinity in which you have promised before Mother Goddess and Father God. Do not be afraid. Do not feel unworthy of this. If you do experience fear of any capacity, I can be called upon to cut you free and to bring you the courage you require to honor the truth of your heart. She is open to you, Divine Masculine. She is holding the space. Your feminine has paved the way for you, as we've talked about, and has healed you with her chalice on many levels. This is a grand gift indeed. You have not to fear, for her love is that of the Mother Goddess. She will provide in all areas of love, every single one. Every area of love, from nurturing to ecstatic passion. Every single thing that you've ever dreamt of, but thought perhaps was not attainable, you thought was not real, or you just really never gravitated towards that because you were in your own toxic patterns that you had to work through. But everything that your heart truly wants, only she can offer. Others cannot offer it. And I'm sure that many of you have tried, and there's no judgment here. Your Divine Feminine's not judging you. Of course, I'm not judging you. We all learn. We all go through things. I know, though, a lot of you Divine Masculines have tried to see if perhaps, getting into a lesser connection with a feminine, that it would just be easier. Perhaps you thought this was just too intense, too overwhelming, too much for you to handle, and you're just like, no, I'm going to back up, run away, see if I can make something else work instead, which is lower. And what happened? I can hear you guys right now. It didn't work out, right? Didn't last, right? No, because it was just not meant. It was not on the path. But it really helped you to grow, even still. There still were very real gifts that were involved there, learning lessons for you, and so this was good. But perhaps this was something that you just had to do. You had to learn for yourself. But please know that your Divine Feminine always loves you, always wishing the best for you, always your cheerleader, always holding that space for you with love and open arms. And she will readily embrace you back home when all is ready. So there's no need to fear of that. Many of the Divine Masculines have been really wanting to speak their truth to their feminine. So perhaps there have been some really harsh words or harsh breakups that have happened, and time has gone by. This comes up in readings often. And the divine masculine just has no idea, like, how do I face my feminine? How do I find the words now? How after what happened, after what I said, after how I acted, how I lied, how do I do this now? And I tell you that the divine is really, really supporting now having the open-hearted discussions and leaving the past, shutting the door on the past of what happened. Guaranteed, if you speak from your heart, masculines, and not get caught up in your head as to if your divine feminine is going to judge you harshly. If you follow your heart and speak from here, you cannot go wrong. And it's really going to bring up a lot of really important things. And you're going to feel that amazing third energy. You're going to feel that merging, that connection. And it's nothing like you'll ever experience with anyone. So maybe some food for thought for those who are really have been contemplating stepping forward and just have been afraid to do it. And maybe some of you have never spoken to your feminine before. You know who your feminine is, but you've never made that connection. You don't know what to say. You don't know how you're going to look, and you're worried. And so again, it's all up in there. Now's the time, like, to be able to really have something so profoundly beautiful, so deep and so divine, and it is a gift that is real. You cannot go wrong, and you are encouraged when you're guided to step forward and reveal it. You'll feel better. She will understand. And there'll be so much healing taking place there. So step forward with bravery and be the great king of water who rules with compassion and with his intuitive senses. Bring to the earth the value and accomplishment of a great warrior who fights for love, not for power. We need you, and we honor you in all your glory. Michael, I am. Some really powerful messages to you guys, and there's a video that you may want to go back to, or if you have not seen it yet, it will be really helpful just to have you understand this journey, exactly what it is. I think a lot of it Michael really described very well in his address, but there's a video that I uploaded called Twin Flame Recognition. There's another one, Twin Flame Communication, but Twin Flame Recognition, the style, for me, I'm a straight shooter. I'm very direct, or as people describe me, no BS or anything like that, no fluff, in which, no, I'm not. I like getting right to the heart of the matter. No pun intended there, but right to the heart of the matter. And so that might be a video that you might want to take a look at, favorite that, like it, and just to remind yourself that even though this may seem very scary for you and intense, way too intense for you, but to really understand that this is truth, and it'll help maybe to clarify some more of this journey for you if you're still kind of unsure, or you're still having a little bit of trouble with your faith and what's happening. So Twin Flame Recognition. I hope that this helped you guys out there. I really do feel very, very passionate about assisting the Divine Masculines as well, because I know there's a lot of you out there who are probably not saying anything to your Divine Feminines, but you're around looking up things and researching and trying to figure this whole thing out, and weighing the pros and cons, and analyzing this thing and going, is this a trend? Is this bullshit? Maybe I'm nuts. Is he just trying to reel me in and entrap me? And all of it, the wheels might be turning for you. But maybe your Divine Feminine has given you some of the information. She's brought the term to your attention, twin flame, and you just don't know, and you've been researching and she doesn't know it, perhaps. So I'm hoping that this has helped you with your search if you were meant to come across this video. So you can let me know, or if not, that's okay. You can just save this video, and this will be something maybe that will definitely just help open you perhaps a little bit more to what's actually happening. So that's it, and it's been a pleasure, like I said, as usual. And you can go to theparanormalpriestess.com. Like I mentioned, I'm also on Facebook. My page is there, The Paranormal Priestess. If you do go on my Facebook page, I just ask that if you are inquiring about readings, it's not the best place to do it, but I'd love to hear any comments or anything like that, or quick questions. But you're better off inquiring on my contact page on The Paranormal Priestess. I'm also on Twitter. I have 2 Twitter accounts. I have one for the show at ParaPriestessYT. I also have my own personal account at Para_Priestess. So I'm wishing you all the brightest of blessings. And remember, from the heart of the darkness is born the light. Take care. Love you all. And I will see you next week. Take care.